Hey everybody, how you doing? Here we are. We are on day 30, 1 month of these daily isolation experience episodes. It seems weird, right? That we've been doing this for a month. Longer in some cases, but a month for us. What's changed? How are you? I mean, everyone's going squirrely, that's for sure. It's interesting to think it's interesting to think what we don't need, isn't it? To get by and to make it work. And for it to not be that bad. I mean, I know that everyone's experience is different. And we have to take all of that, of course, into account as we move forward. Today's Aaron and Janelle's birthday, our first kid's birthday. They're 18. We wish them happy birthday this morning via phone. That's the best that we can do. There's not a lot of silver lining there in terms of this chunk of time that they're going to miss, but I try to keep up. They're strong and funny and tough kids, and they'll get through this. And hopefully we'll see them soon. A writer friend of mine, Patrick, who's also a science teacher, wrote about the decisions that we're going to be making going forward, and there's already a lot of movement out there toward reopening everything, and our family believes that's the wrong decision, and we're not going to take part in that. I think Patrick is right when he says that the notion that no one is going to get hurt by even making the right responses to the pandemic is silly. Whether we decide correctly or whether we decide incorrectly, there is still going to be a lot of loss moving forward in the next few weeks and months and possibly into fall, and we have to look at that we have to look at that deliberately. We have to and be aware of the direction that we're going here is going to, one way or the other, create havoc. But as he writes, none of that changes the fact that the colossally stupidest idea right now is to just open everything back up as if nothing is wrong. I mean, we can be smart or we don't have to be smart. That's the whole point of living in this country, isn't it? So I hope you're all smart. I hope everybody is smart. I hope you take a long, hard look at your decisions and how they affect others. For our sake, for our family, we are going to stay close to home. If the mall opens up, we're not going there. If the trailheads open up, we are not going there. We're going to keep things tight for a little while, at least. We're very fortunate that we are in a position to be able to do that. No one in our family is an essential worker. No one is on the front lines. Like my sister is a nurse. My sister-in-law, is a nurse. So we have people out there. And I worry about my sister every single day. But at least in our family, in our tight little group, we have the option of of keeping distance, and of staying tight and staying close and riding this out together in the best way that we can. And so far, so good. So speaking of sort of free will and, sort of celebrating humanity, I wanted to read Whitman today. I wanted to end these 30 days with Whitman. He's probably my favorite American poet, and of course Leaves of Grass is a masterpiece of sort of transcendental Zen human celebration. And Song of Myself is the opening poem from Leaves of Grass. And I'm going to read a longish section from Song of Myself. I believe it's going to be the first 6 parts. Because I want us to all close here with the understanding that we are built to get through stuff like this. We can do it, and we can come together, and we can put politics aside, and we can recognize sort of the basic humanity of what it takes to be human and to be kind and to find that empathy. And that's what Whitman was looking for. So, here we go. Walt Whitman. Song of Myself. I celebrate myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul, I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. Houses and rooms are full of perfumes, the shelves are crowded with perfumes. I breathe the fragrance myself, and know it and like it. The distillation would intoxicate me also, but I shall not let it in. The atmosphere is not a perfume, it has no taste of the distillation, it is odorless. It is for my mouth forever. I am in love with it. I will go to the bank by the wood and become unguised and naked. I am mad for it to be in contact with me. The smoke of my own breath. Echoes, ripples, and buzzed whispers. Lover root, silk thread, crotch, and vine. My respiration and inspiration, the beating of my heart, the passing of blood and air through my lungs, the sniff of green leaves and dry leaves, and of the shore and dark-colored sea rocks, and of hay in the barn, the sound of the belched words of my voice, words loosed to the eddies of the wind. A few light kisses, a few embraces, a reaching around of arms, the play of shine and shade on the trees as the supple boughs wag. The delight alone or in the rush of the streets or along the fields and hillsides, the feeling of health, the full noon trill, the song of me rising from bed and meeting the sun. Have you reckoned 1,000 acres much? Have you reckoned the earth much? Have you practiced so long to learn to read? Have you felt so proud to get at the meaning of poems? Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself. I have heard what the takers were talking, the talk of the beginning and the end, but I do not talk of the beginning or the end. There was never any more inception than there is now, nor any more youth or age than there is now, and will never be any more perfection than there is now, nor any more heaven or hell than there is now. urge and urge and urge, always the procreant urge of the world. Out of the dimness, opposites equal, advance, always substance and increase, always a knit of identity, always distinction, always a breed of life. To elaborate is no avail. Learned and unlearned feel that it is so. Sure as the most certain sure, plumb in the uprights, well entreated, braced in the beams, stout as a horse, affectionate, haughty, electrical. I and this mystery, here we stand. Clear and sweet is my soul, and clear and sweet is all that is not my soul. Lack one, lacks both, and the unseen is proved by the seen, till that becomes unseen and receives no proof in its turn. Showing the best and dividing it from the worst, age vexes age, knowing the perfect fitness and equanimity of things. While they discuss, I am silent and go bathe and admire myself. Welcome is every organ and attribute of me, and of any man, hearty and clean. Not an inch nor a particle of an inch is vile, and none shall be less familiar than the rest. I am satisfied. I see, dance, laugh, sing, as God comes a loving bedfellow, and sleeps at my side all night and close on the peep of the day, and leaves for me baskets covered with white towels, bulging the house with their plenty. Shall I postpone my acceptation and realization, and scream at my eyes that they turn from gazing after and down the road, and forthwith cipher and show me to assent exactly the contents of one and exactly the contents of two, and which is ahead? Trippers and askers surround me, people I meet, the effect upon me of my early life, of the war and the city I live in, of the nations, the latest news, discoveries, inventions, societies, authors old and new. My dinner, dress, associates, looks, business, compliments, dues, the real or fancied indifference of some man or woman I love, the sickness of one of my folks, or of myself, or ill-doing, or loss, or lack of money, or depression, or exaltations, they come to me days and nights and go from me again. But they are not the me, myself. Apart from the pulling and hauling stands, what I am stands amused, complacent, compassionate, idle, unitary, looks down, is erect, bends an arm on an impalpable certain rest, looks with its side-curved head curious what will come next, both in and out of the game, and watching and wondering at it. Backward I see in my own days, where I sweated through fog with linguists and contenders. I have no mocking or arguments. I witness and wait. I believe in you, my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other. Loaf with me on that grass. Loose the stop from your throat. Not words, not music, or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your valued voice. I mind how we lay in June, such a transparent summer morning. You settled your head athwart my hips and gently turned over upon me, and parted the shirt from my bosom bone, and plunged your tongue to my bare strip heart, and reached until you felt my beard, and reached until you held my feet. Swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and joy and knowledge that pass all the art and arguments of the earth, and I know that the hand of God is the elder hand of my own. And I know that the Spirit of God is the eldest brother of my own, and that all the men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers, and that a kelson of the creation is love, and limitless are leaves, stiff or drooping in the fields, and brown ants in little wells beneath them, and mossy scabs of the worm fence, and heaped stones, and elder and mullein and pokeweed. A child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer, designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say whose. Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white. Kennock, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff, I give them the same, I receive them the same, and now it seems to me beautiful, uncut hair of graves. Tenderly I will use your curling grass. It may be you transpire from the beasts of young men. It may be, if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people, and from women, and from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps. And here you are, the mother's laps. The grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men, dark to come from under the faint red roofs of mouths. Oh, I perceive, after all, so many uttering tongues, and I perceive they do not come from the roofs of mouths for nothing. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about the old men and mothers, and the offspring taken soon out of their laps. What do you think has become of the young and the old men? And what do you think has become of the women and children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows that there is really no death, and if ever there was, it led forward life and does not wait at the end to arrest it, and ceased the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward, and nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier. That last section, the last phrase there, was put on the back of my father's funeral card at his funeral a couple of years ago. And yeah, life goes on, right? Even the little sprout suggests that life goes on, and life will go on in one way or the other. So, this has been fun. I appreciate everyone who has followed along. I want you all to be safe and to all be happy and to be patient. And we will all come out the other end of this, one way or the other. So, it is Thursday, April 16th, I apologize, 2020. And I am signing off now after 30 days. And I'll be back next week. So keep together, stay together, wash your hands, call somebody you love, and we will see you soon. Take it easy, everybody.